So I said we were going to do a couple of things different this time. First, we're going to be using Mayette lavender, and we're going to run the still a little longer, but also we're going to try something a little different. We're going to be using a 240 volt controller this time. This should provide a lot more power to the element, which can put a lot more heat into the boiler. We'll be able to boil our water in substantially less time and push a lot more steam into the product a lot more quickly, which I think is going to be beneficial for bursting all those little cells full of lavender oil. We already filled the boiler with water a little earlier. I can see on the sight glass that I've got at least half a boiler full of water, so I know I won't let my element run dry. And so with that, I think we can turn this guy on, let it start to heat up as we load our lavender into the still. There's some research that suggests that if you put cold product in the still, cold lavender, and then inject directly hot steam, you get the best results rather than allowing the steam to slowly come up and slowly heat up the lavender inside this still. Now we'll just pop the column on top, and then we're just waiting for that boiler to start producing steam. And then we can hook everything up and we'll get our funnel out and start capturing hydrosol and essential oil. All right, so now it's been just barely over 15 minutes, and this 240 volt controller with the 5500 watt element has taken our basically pipe temperature water to boiling in just about 15 minutes. So that's significantly faster than what we've experienced in the past. So I think that's great, and it's going to push a lot of high power steam through our plant material. So I'm excited to see the results. I'm definitely going to glove up for this because that looks hot. Okay, now just need to get the separatory funnel set up and turn on our chilling water because I think we're going to be making oil real quick. And you can see we're getting our very first drips of oil and hydrosol starting to collect in our separatory funnel. We're getting some steam out of the separatory funnel, which means that we're not getting full condensation in the condenser column. So we're gonna back off the steam a little bit. Almost instantaneously as I turned down the controller, the boil slowed down and we're still getting a lot of hydrosol and oil coming through. I think this is gonna be a lot faster means of extracting essential oil. All right, so we ran this setup for just shy of an hour now. It's been about 54 minutes and we're about ready to top out our separatory funnel, so we're gonna shut it down. We'll probably have to let this settle for a little while longer. Because this ran out a little faster, it seems like maybe we have a little more of the oil kind of caught up in the hydrosol yet, so we may want to let this settle out, maybe overnight, and then tomorrow morning we'll measure it up and see how we did on production of oil and hydrosol. All right, so we let our funnel sit for a while and really separate out, and the oil rose nicely and the hydrosol clarified really well. And so now we're just gonna go ahead and capture the hydrosol, and then we'll go ahead and check and see how much oil we made as well. Our primary goal here was to kind of maximize the hydrosol production. We ran this batch pretty hot and a little bit longer than we normally do, and I think we made a lot of great hydrosol. It smells nice from here, so I imagine it's gonna smell pretty great when I'm pouring it into this bottle here. So it looks like we got about 3 quarts of Mayette lavender hydrosol. This Mayette in particular has a really kind of a citrusy lavender smell to it. And lavender and has kind of more of a grassy overtone to it. It's a really nice product and people really seem to enjoy it, even though it's to some extent, I mean, it was initially considered just a kind of a byproduct of the distilling process until people sort of discovered that it itself was a really nice thing to have around the house. Now we'll just capture the oil here. I already zeroed out our scale here so we can see how much oil we captured in the process. And it looks like we also managed to make 23 milliliters of essential oil from that batch. So not a bad batch of essential oil, especially for an English lavender, a pure English lavender like Mayette. So I think it was a pretty successful experiment with our new 240 volt controller. Really appreciate how quickly it came up to temperature and produced steam. And then I think as a result of being able to push such a kind of high volume of steam so early into the lavender itself, we were able to extract like a lot of really, I think, high quality product that smells really clean and really pure. And I think we're probably going to stick to using that equipment probably routinely from this point on. So with that, time to head out in the field and pick some more lavender and do it all over.